Good morning students. In this video I am going to teach you the sixth chapter of history. The name of the chapter is the Golden Age Gupta Empire. Okay. In this chapter we will talk about the rulers of the Gupta Empire. Empire means the large kingdom. The rulers who ruled during this time, the names of the rulers: Chandragupta first, Chandragupta second, Samudragupta. Okay, first ruler was Chandragupta first, second was Samudragupta, and third was Chandragupta second. These were the important rulers of the Gupta Empire. And the Gupta Empire started from 320 till 540 AD. And before the Guptas, which empire was there in India? The Kushana Empire broke up in the 3rd century AD. Before the Gupta Empire, the Kushana Empire was there in India. And in the 3rd century, this empire started to decline. Means near about 290 or 250, the Kushana Empire started to decline. With its fall, many independent states came up in India. After the decline of the Kushana Empire, the independent states emerged in India. Means India divided into small territories after the decline of Kushana Empire. The India started to decline. Divided into small territories, and many independent rulers started to rule over India. Like some of these were the Nagas. They came in the Jamuna Valley. They came here. Nagas, they established their kingdom here. And the Sakas in the western India. And in the western India, the Sakas were there. And the Bakataka in the Deccan. And the south side of in the southern side, in the Deccan side, the Bakatakas were there. We have a very little knowledge about the 3rd century BC. We have the little knowledge about the 3rd century AD. So that's why this age is known as the Dark Age. The question can be, why the 3rd century is known as a Dark Age? Because we have a little knowledge about the 3rd century, so that's why this century is known as the Dark Age. In the 320 AD, the Gupta Empire rise, and it was the most important empire of the ancient time, and it was founded by Shri Gupta, and this dynasty ruled for 20 years. So Gupta Empire started in 320 AD, and the rulers of the Gupta Empire, they ruled till 540 AD. So Gupta Empire was founded by Shirugupta. That is important, who founded the Gupta Empire. Shirugupta. The first important Gupta ruler was Chandragupta first. He ruled from 320 AD to 335 AD. He was the first important ruler of this dynasty, and his empire was confined till Magda. Magda was under him when he became the ruler, and he started to expand his area by establishing the matrimonial alliances. He was married to the daughters of the other kings, and with the matrimonial alliances he expanded his area. And he also occupied the areas of the nearby states like Ud, Bihar, Tirhut and Allahabad. These states were conquered by the Chandragupta first, and he expanded his area. After these conquests, he assumed the title Maharaja Adhiraj, and he ruled for 15 years. And after his death, the new ruler was Samudragupta. The second important ruler of the Gupta Empire was Samudragupta. He became ruler in 335 AD, and he ruled till 375 AD. And Samudragupta, he was one of the ablest kings of the Gupta Empire. And he was the great conqueror. He conquered many areas, and he also loved art and literature. To celebrate his victories and conquest, he also performed the Ashwamedas, Jajnas. Okay, these were the sacrificial Jajnas which was performed by the Samudragupta after the victories. He also issued the coins on his name and he also assumed the title Maharaja Adhiraj. So Samudragupta, he expanded his area from the Brahmaputra river in the east side. He extended his area from the Brahmaputra in the east to the rivers Jamuna and Chambal in the west. And in the north side, his area was started from Himalayas until Narmada in the south. Brahmaputra river is here in the east side of, you can see here Brahmaputra, it enters in India. His area, the area of the Samudragupta extended from the Brahmaputra in the east till Ganga and Yamuna in the west, and Himalayas are there in the north from Himalayas till Narmada river in the south. So what type of man he was, Samudragupta? He was the ruler of the Gupta Empire and successor to the Chandragupta. First he became ruler after the death of the Chandragupta. First he is also known as the Napoleon of India because he got victories. And we got a knowledge about Samudragupta from the Allahabad pillar. You can see here, that is the picture of the Allahabad pillar. And we get knowledge from this pillar about the Samudragupta. Okay, lines are written here on this pillar, and after reading these lines we came to know about the Samudragupta. He also issued the coins, and these were of 8 different types, and you can see these coins were issued by Samudragupta. Okay, all of pure gold, and the coins were made from gold. And Samudragupta is also known to have a man of culture. He also had the knowledge about the culture. He loved the culture. He was the poet and a magician. And we got a knowledge about him from the coins because the pictures are there on the coins. Next is Chandragupta II. After the death of the Samudragupta, the new ruler was Chandragupta II. He became ruler in 375 AD and he ruled till 413 AD. Chandragupta II, he was also known as a Vikramaditya. Okay, he was the son and successor of Samudragupta. After the death of the Samudragupta, Chandragupta II became the ruler. He was the son of Samudragupta. The Gupta Empire rose to its highest point during his time. During the time of the Chandragupta II, the Gupta Empire reached its highest point. When the Chandragupta II became the ruler, he defeated the Saka kings of Malwa. In the Malwa states, you can see here in the map also, Sakas were there in India. And Gujarat and Konkan coast, thus he extended the Gupta Empire up to the Arabian Sea. Okay, that was the area which was under the Chandragupta II. He defeated the Sakas and he controlled this area. And his area reached near the Konkan coast. That coast, the coast which is near the Arabian Sea. So his area extended up to the Arabian Sea. Okay, starts from the Himalayas and up to the Arabian Sea. So Chandragupta II, he extended his area. He took, you can see here, he took the title of Sakari, which means the destroyer of the Sakas. Because he defeated the Sakas, so he adopted the title Sakari. Its meaning was destroyer of the Sakas. This was his greatest achievement. He was made Ujjain his capital. His capital was Ujjain. Okay. By the end of his reign, Chandragupta, his empire extended to the western, northwestern and eastern India. So his empire was extended in the north side, in the eastern side, in the western side and in the north eastern and northwestern side. And Chandragupta II was also the patron of art and learning. he had in his court many scholars and poets were there in the court of the Chandragupta II, and these poets were known as the Navratnas or the 9 jewels. And after the Chandragupta II, Huns, they attacked on India, and this gave to the big blow to the dynasty. And after the attacks of the Huns, the Gupta Empire started to decline, and it declined around 550 AD. So after the death of the Chandragupta II, no powerful ruler was there. So that's why Gupta Empire declined after the death of Chandragupta II. Now, what type of society and culture was found during the Gupta period? Fahyan, he came to India after crossing the Gobi Desert in Central Asia in 405 AD. Who was Fahyan? He was the Chinese traveler, and he came to India in 405 AD when the Chandragupta II was there in India, and has given a good description of India during the Gupta period, and he wrote about the conditions during the time of Chandragupta II. And the following points are noteworthy in this regard. You can see what type of administration was found during the Gupta period. The Gupta administration can be called an ideal one, and it was very mild and liberal. They respected all the religions, so it was mild and liberal. The king accepted the most important person was king, and he ruled the empire with the assistance, means help, with the help of ministers and other officials. So king was the head of the empire, and he ruled with the help of the ministers and other officials, and the whole empire was divided into provinces, means the area of the king was divided into states. Like in India, India is divided into different states. At that time also, the area of the king was divided into provinces, and each province was known as the Bhukti. Okay, province was known as the Bhukti, state was known as the Bhukti, and each Bhukti was governed by the Uparika Maharaja. Okay, the head of the Bhukti, the head of the state was Uparika Maharaja. Now these days chief minister is there. In India states are there, and each state has its own head chief minister, but at that time the India was divided into provinces. Provinces were known as the Bhukti, and the head of the Bhukti was known as the Uparika Maharaja. And Bhuktis were further divided into districts, which were controlled by the Vishyapatis. These days also the states are divided into districts. Okay, district had its own head like DC, but at that time the head of the district was known as the Vishyapatis. And the villages were also there at that time. The village administration was under the village headman, and the village headman used to take advice of the elders to rule over the village. To run the administration of the village headman take the advice of the elders of the village. And the laws were also there, the courts were also there, like civil and criminal laws. Taxes were also there, but these taxes were low and reasonable. The people had to pay the 1/4 of their product as a tax to the government. And society, what type of society was there at that time? The people were very rich. At the time the people were very rich, and they give donations for what? To set up the hospitals and rest houses. And they were very honest, and they were following the laws of the government. People belonging to the various castes, but they lived with each other in peace, and people were vegetarians. Next is only the Chandals. Who were the Chandals? They had to live outside the cities, and they were treated as untouchables. The lower caste was known as the Chandals, and they were not living with the other peoples, and they did the dirty works. Okay, so that's why they were known as the Chandals, and they lived outside the cities, and they were not treated well by the other people. Religion, what type of religion was there? Which religion was there at that time? Hinduism was the main religion of the Gupta Empire. Okay, and in spite of the Hinduism, the other religions were there also there in the society, like Jainism and Buddhism. Jainism and Buddhism was also there in the society, and the people they worship the idols in the Hindu temples. Okay, the many images of the gods and goddesses were also found during the Gupta time, like Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Surya, Durga. And people, they also performed the religious sacrifice like the Ashwamedha Yajna, and the Hindu temples were also built during the Gupta time, and Bhakti cult was found in the society, and the people who follow the Bhakti cult, they believed in the one God. They thought that God is one. Advancement in literature. Many books were also written during the Gupta time. Many writers were found during the Gupta period, like the Sanskrit, that was the main language of the Guptas. Okay, the main religion which were found during the Gupta time, that was Hinduism. The language which was found during the Gupta period, that was the Sanskrit. Okay, but in spite of this, the other language were also there, like the Prakrit. The main poet which was found during the Gupta period, that was the Kalidasa, and he wrote many books like Shakuntala, Meghdut, Vikramavashya. These were the books which were written by Kalidasa, and he was known as the Shakespeare of India. And during that time, the Puranas were rewritten and the Mahabharata was edited. And the Samritis, the law books, were also written at that time. Panchatantra book, that was the collection of short stories. This was also compiled during the Gupta period. And many grammaries like Patanjali, Panini, Katyayana, they also belong this period. And Nalanda, Sarnath, Vallabhai, these were the main learning centers. These were the universities. They are where the people went to get the knowledge, to get the education. Next is art and architecture. What type of buildings were found during the Gupta period? Many beautiful buildings were found during the Gupta period. You can see here. That was the art and architecture which was found during the Gupta period. Like Sarnath, that was the place which emerged as the excellence school in the Buddhist art. Sarnath was the place where the art was found, but that art was found related to the Buddhism. Many buildings were found at that place, but these all buildings were related to Lord Buddha. And temples were there found at that time, like the shape of the temple was square. The shape of the temple was square, and the pillared porch emerged, and on the entrance of the temple, the pillars were found, and these temples were constructed around the Garbhagriha, and in the center of these temples, the Garbhagriha was the main room where the deity of the Lord was kept. Okay, that was the main room where the idols of the Lord were kept, and the temple was found around the Garbhagriha. Okay, that was the room which was found in the center of the temple, and the devotees and the people enter in this Garbhagriha to offer the prayers to the god, and they also performed the rituals in the Garbhagriha. And outside the Garbhagriha there was the hall, and which was known as the Mandapa. Okay, and in spite of the temples, the scenes of everyday life like military procession means march, the scenes of roll call, and pictures of musicians and dancers also found on the walls which were found during the time of the Gupta period. Caves were also found at the time, like Chaitanya and Bihara caves. These are the names of the caves which were found at the Ajanta and Ellora. Okay, are the best. These were the best copy of the Buddhist cave architecture. Rock-cut caves were also found during the Gupta period. Next is growth and trade and commerce. During the Gupta period, the trade was also found. People at the time, the people moved from one place to another to sell their goods. Why the trade was found at that time? Because during the Gupta period, there was this peace and safety, and the well-connected roads were found. Okay, the trade, internal trade was also there, external trade was also there. Internal means the people went in from one place to another in the country, but they also went to the other countries to sell their goods. That was known as the external trade. Internal means inside the country, external means outside the country. Next is Ujjain, Patliputra, Benares, Mathura, Tamralipti. These were the famous trade centers, and the Guptas established their trade relations with Myanmar, Java, Kavandia, and also the Tamralipti. That was they carried their trade through the Tamralipti, that is situated in the east coast. That was the way which they used to enter into the other countries. And cotton and silk, textile, ivory and metal crafts developed and expanded a great deal at that time. The people sell the silks, okay, sandalwood and these precious stones to the other countries. They also introduced the gold and silver coins. Next is science and technology. During the Gupta period, the people also had the knowledge about science and technology. Okay, like Aryabhatta, he was the famous astronomer. The people had the knowledge about astronomy, mathematics, and astrology. Astronomy, that was the scientific study of the stars and planets and the other objects which were found in the space. Mathematics, maths, and astrology, that was the knowledge about the prediction of the future. Aryabhatta, he was a famous astronomer and mathematician which was found during the Gupta period, and he had the knowledge about lunar and solar eclipses, and he also proved that the earth moves around the sun. Barham Mihira, he was the Sikkim astronomer, and he wrote the book. The name of the book was Panch Siddhantika. Brahmagupta, Banbhatta, they were the physicians which were found during the Gupta period. And the Indian, they also had the knowledge about the decimal system. That was the term which is used in the maths. They also had the knowledge about the decimal system. In spite of decimal system, they also had the knowledge about metals. Like the iron pillar was found at the time. It shows that they had the knowledge about metals. So the Guptas, they ruled for 220 years. And they had the knowledge about all the human activities. So that's why this time was known as the golden period in the ancient Indian history. The Gupta period is also known as a golden period because the people at the time, the people had the knowledge about the all spheres of the human activities. Like they had the knowledge about astrology, maths, art, architecture, literature. Okay. Now causes for the breakup of the Gupta Empire. Why the Gupta Empire declined? First was all successors of the Chandragupta II were weak and inefficient. After the death of the Chandragupta II, the old rulers were weak, and the Gupta Empire was very vast. So it became very difficult for the kings to control the vast empire. And when the Gupta rulers were weak at the time, the governors of the provinces, they took advantage of the situation and they started to become independent. At the time I told you, the Huns, they were not Indian, they also started to attack on India, and the attacks of Huns also proved disastrous for the Gupta Empire and it declined.